Hello, my name is Bonnie Burke, and I work for Workforce Resource. This presentation is entitled Networking, Tapping In to that Hidden Job Market. You may have just been given notice from your employer that there will be a large reduction in their workplace, or that their business is closing, or you may already have been unemployed. Not too long ago, I also lost my job. I spent many days going over job ads in the newspaper and applying for jobs online. Many hours writing and rewriting my resume. Until one day, my husband, bless his heart, said to me, "Bonnie, you need to get out of the house. You need to start talking to people." And he was right. I needed to start networking. I needed to start talking to people about my skills and my employment goals. Networking will be a valuable part of your re-employment journey as well. For some people, I know that at first this will be uncomfortable. However, Workforce Resource is here to help. So I'm hoping that you have in front of you our handouts for this presentation. Please follow along, take notes. If you would like a copy of the PowerPoint slides, feel free to ask the resource specialist at the Job Center. They could get you a copy after today's presentation. What are we going to talk about today? Well, I'm going to talk about the benefits of networking. I'm going to try to get you as excited about it as I am. One of your handouts, I'm going to give you an activity that you can create a list of people and also businesses to network with. I hope that you'll be able to create a very specific career goal. Now with that goal, remember it can change and you could also have more than one goal. Another piece that we're going to be doing together today, and chances are you won't be able to finish it during today's webinar, so feel free, take it home and finish it. That's going to be my challenge to you. But I want you to be able to compose a 30-second commercial. Some people call them elevator pitches. I just like the word commercial. With this commercial, you are going to be far more successful when you are out networking and then also when you get job interviews. So, what is networking? What's this woman all excited about? Well, keep this saying in mind as we go along today. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Have you heard that one before? Well, with networking, that saying is absolutely true. Networking, statistics will tell us it is the best way to find a job. So, not Job Center of Wisconsin, not LinkedIn, it is through who you know. So the vast majority of job openings, to be honest, are never ever advertised. They are filled by word of mouth. Do you believe that? You're not going to find all of the jobs in the newspaper, on the internet. Employers realize that that's very expensive. It's not as effective as word of mouth. Networking is all about building relationships. So if you are a quiet person, and believe it or not, by nature I'm an introvert, so this is hard for me, so I can understand if this is a challenge for you, but trust me, it will be well worth it. So networking is about building relationships. Listen to this. People do business primarily with people they know and like. So if I owned a company, I would look at hiring somebody I knew, or at least somebody one of my employees knew. Resumes and cover letters alone are often way too impersonal to convince an employer to hire you. It's just a piece of paper, right? We can put anything we want on that piece of paper. It's so impersonal. Yet, if a friend of yours went to an HR person and said, "Hey, I have a friend who has these skills, they've done a great job, I think you should look at interviewing them." Job listings tend to draw piles of applicants.
Can you imagine being the hiring manager and having to sift through 10, 20 applications, resumes? Trust me, I was in HR for a while. It is an overwhelming task. I honestly did not like it. I always depended on that word of mouth, on who knew who. Networking makes a recommended member of a much smaller pool to really stand out. So it makes the HR job easier, but it's going to get your foot in the door much faster. So why should you network? Why do you have to do all this work just to get a job? Well, the job you want, once again, it might not be advertised. Networking can lead to information and job leads, maybe sometimes even before the job was announced or even before the company finally decided to post it on the internet or even post it on their website. So to me, keep in mind, with networking, you are going to have far and far more job opportunities. Doing research for this webinar, I found this quote, and I really liked it. It says, "If you want to go somewhere, it is best to find someone who has already been there." Kind of cool. If you want to go somewhere, find someone who has already been there. Kind of that been there, done that, I can help you out mentality. So, who's in your network? On one of your handouts, I have a spreadsheet that I want you to now to start jotting down. I want you to now start making a list of people who you currently know. It's absolutely fine if it's friends, family members. What? Absolutely. Friends or family could be good people to network with as well. Start also then thinking about who you worked with your last job. Maybe if you have children, your kids as friends as parents. If you go to the library, if you go to the church, if you go to see a doctor, if you go to see a dentist, your accountant, your mechanic, include everyone that you can possibly think about. Add their names to that list. Each person in your network or each person on that list may know of an available job or of a connection to someone who will know of one. Can pretty overdaunting. However, if you do Facebook, go on your Facebook page and see who you're connected with. That is a great place to start with your network list. Define what type of occupation you want is the next step in networking. I have worked with so many people over the past few years, and when I ask them, so what type of job are you looking for? And when they respond, oh, I'm open. What do you mean? There's no job called open. I'm open. To me, when you're networking, that is way too vague. This next line that I'm going to say actually came from a quote from a website. When you say open, it creates a black hole that sucks all the networking potential out of your contacts. You know, if I was looking for jobs or if I heard a job opening and John Doe over here, he said he's open, well, there may be 20 job openings and I'm not going to relate any of them to him because he's open, right? You're open to what? And if you're honestly not sure, and to be honest with you, most adults, we have no idea what we want to do when we grow up. So this is your time to do some exploration. One of the websites that I want to show you is actually called O-Net, O-N-E-T. So I'm going to bring that up in a minute and show you how this website works. Because when I had lost my job about 5 years ago, I thought to myself, I had really been given a gift because I knew I wanted to do something different. I had worked for over 13 years for one employer in manufacturing. Before that, I had worked for 8 and almost 9 years in manufacturing with another employer. So I really wanted to do something different. But to be honest with you, I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. So on O-Net, it is going to give you an amazing list of all these different possible occupations. And I would encourage you to spend some time on this website, scroll down, and just really look at all the titles. And this is kind of the fun part of their website. They have them all listed in alphabetical order. As for an example, if you're like, maybe I like working with numbers. Would I maybe think of being an accountant? Well, if you go to this website, you click on accountant, and it's going to tell you everything an accountant does. It's going to list the occupational summary for it and all the different tasks that are related to being an accountant. And as you can see, as I slowly scroll down, ONET is going to tell you absolutely everything, not about just accountants, but about any occupation you want to look at. It's going to tell you what tools does an accountant use, what type of technology, what type of knowledge do they need to have, what type of skills do they need to have, abilities. So I'm going to scroll down to the part that always is my favorite part. So it's going to tell me what type of education do I need. As you will notice that ONET states that 79% of all accountants have a bachelor's degree. However, I do know in our area there are many accountants that have an associate's degree from our local technical college. Then you might think, how much do these folks make? Do I want to go back to school? And if so, I want to go back to school for something that's going to give me a livable wage. Well, ONET's going to tell you in the United States, the median wage for an accountant is $31 an hour, $65,000 annually. Now, once again, I'm sure that that wage was based off of that bachelor's degree. An associate's degree initially may pay less. So if you're thinking, okay, that's the nation, but I want to see, what's that accountant job going to pay in Wisconsin? So I'm not willing to move because of my family. So I'm going to go select a state, and in Wisconsin, ONET is going to tell you on a medium wage, what does an accountant make here in Wisconsin? Another opportunity that I would really encourage you to pursue is to attend one of our webinars that's called Educational Needs and Career Interest. Look at our webinar schedule, and I typically try to offer that at a minimum once a month, or maybe you can even watch it on YouTube. With the Educational Needs and Career Assessment webinar, you will be able to take a look at many different types of careers, and then with those careers, what is the educational requirement? So if you're not quite sure what occupation you're interested in, if you know you have to get away from open, take a look at ONET. Take a look at attending the webinar. So the next step in networking is I need you to create a very specific yet realistic career goal. That's where you have to have a career in mind. So this activity, I'm going to have you help me evaluate these two career goals, because when we're done, I want you to be able to write your own career goal. So what do you think of this one? Is this goal realistic, and is it specific enough? This person says that they would like an entry-level job in manufacturing within 5 miles from my home. Is it realistic? Maybe if you live in a big city, you might find it within 5 miles from home. Yet, I think you may need to broaden the distance that you're willing to travel. It depends. But an entry-level job in manufacturing, it's not too bad, yet you may want to take a look at what are the manufacturing employers in my area and which ones are you the most interested in. And definitely do some research with that company. I want you to take a look now at this career goal. This person would like a day job, waitressing in a supper club, and they prefer not to work evenings or weekends. was a waitress for 16 years. I worked many, many evenings and many, many weekends. If this is an entry-level waiter or waitress, they are going to have to work evenings or weekends. So not a very realistic career goal. I have another goal that I want you to evaluate. Okay, take a look at this. What do you think of this one? This person would like a full-time job as a receptionist, working in healthcare within 25 miles from their home. Is it realistic? I would think so, especially if they had training as a receptionist. Is it achievable? Is it specific? I believe it is. I think it's a really good start to a career goal. So on your networking handout, I want you to take just a few minutes, and if you don't finish it during the webinar, absolutely fine, but I want you to promise me that you're going to finish this and put this on your refrigerator at home. Talk to your friends about your career goals, talk to your family, and if you're working with somebody at Workforce Resource, make sure you tell them what your career goal is. Now that you have a good start and a career goal, and you know what type of job you want, and you should have started on your list of contacts or your list of people to network with, you might be asking yourself, what's next? Well, I'm going to help you out there. The next step, and I have to be honest with you, sometimes this is really difficult. I want you now to take a few minutes and define your strengths. Every adult, every person has strengths. One of your handouts that I've given for you today, and I'll bring it up and I want you to take a look at it, it's going to list various different strengths. And you're going to notice that some of them are soft skills, some of them are computer skills, but hopefully this handout is going to give you an opportunity to start thinking about, wow, what am I really good at? What are my selling points? Because remember, we're going to be writing a commercial and you need to be confident in talking about your selling points. This is what's going to set you apart from other job seekers and other applicants. So define your strengths. Make a list of your strengths and be prepared to put those in your commercial when we get to that part of the webinar. So writing your network commercial. You might be thinking, what? I have to write a commercial? Yes, you do. So I want you to think a minute though of television. What is your favorite commercial? Commercials are made to sell things. You are selling your strengths and your talents to potential connections and to employers. The only reason I like watching the Super Bowl is the commercials. I know you can watch them the next day, but hey, I wouldn't be American if I didn't watch the Super Bowl. However, I don't know a thing about football, I have to be honest with you. But the commercials are so wonderful. How much money do you think they pay to have a 15 or 30-second commercial that airs during the Super Bowl? I don't know. But I'm guessing it's in the millions. So with your commercial, this is going to be your chance to give someone a short synopsis of your skills and your experience with the goal of getting them to ask you for more information and also to give you a referral. Hey, I know of a job. So to kind of help you get those creative juices flowing, I'm going to share with you a really cute commercial that has been around for a little while, but you might recognize this baby. It's the E-Trade baby. So enjoy this commercial. I hope it makes you smile. And we're going to talk about afterwards, would you buy E-Trade from this commercial?
So yeah, sorry about last night.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you didn't call.
Yeah, well, I was on E-Trade, diversifying my portfolio, taking control like a wolf.
Right.
What's that? That's volatility in the market. Taken care of, wolf style. Oh, oh, oh!
And that milkaholic Lindsay wasn't over?
Lindsay?
Milka what?
I hope that commercial made you smile. Would you buy E-Trade? Would you invest in them based off that commercial? To be honest with you, I don't think I would. It is really cute, and yet I wanted it to be professional. That might be just me. What do we need to do to get an employer to buy you as an employee? I'm going to give you a few more examples of a networking commercial. So now we're going to give you some examples that hopefully can spur those creative juices. So let's just pretend here for a minute that you were going to apply for a job as a truck driver. And so you're going to write a commercial for a truck driving position. So what do you think of this commercial? Would you buy this applicant? I want to obtain employment with a company that will benefit from my years of experience, knowledge, and dedication. To be honest with you, most employers don't care about what you want. They want to know what you can do for them before they start thinking about what you want. So it's pretty weak, it's pretty generic. So I fine-tuned it a little bit and I jazzed it up a little bit for this slide. So what do you think of this commercial now? Would you buy this applicant? So with over 20 years of safe work experience in logistics, I am confident I will assist your company in delivering value to your customers. What openings does your company currently have? Might be a good way to get some referrals. 20 years of safe work experience. That would make me stand up and listen. Safe driving record for 20 years, that actually means a lot of dollars saved for that business. So logistics is another word for moving materials. I wrote this commercial again because I wanted to show you sometimes when we write our commercials, we're going to change them up depending on the situation that we're in. That first commercial on this slide would be really helpful for a job fair or maybe even an interview or a cold call. This commercial, I feel, would be a little bit better for just generic networking. So listen to this and let me know if you think you would buy this applicant. I'm looking for a truck driving position. I hold a Class A commercial driver's license and I'm willing to drive over the road. In 20 years of driving, I have maintained a clean driving record and perfect attendance. Do you know of any employers who would benefit from my experience and work ethics? Whoa, I imagine this person would get a lot of great referrals. What do you think? So, I wanted to show you another example of a really wimpy, weak commercial. Would you buy this applicant? I know how to weld and I need a job. Well, so do a lot of other people too. But what can you do for that employer? So I rewrote this. This may be a really good commercial, once again, for a job fair or even during an interview. I have 1-year degree from WITC in welding. And I also have 5 years of experience and I'm proficient in welding on various metals. I am confident you would benefit from my skills and experience. Is there anything else you would like to know about me? Asking that open-ended question at the end of your commercial will get that employer to think, so where did you work last? What else did you learn at WITC? And tell me about some of your welding projects. Asking open-ended questions are going to get the dialogue started. It's going to give that person or that employer an opportunity to get to know you and to get to know what you can do for them. So, once again, you might have to write a couple of different commercials depending on the situation that you are going to be networking in. Okay, so based on your strengths and your qualities, what value do you bring to an employer? Pretty big question, right? Everyone has strengths and everyone has values. I want you to take a little bit of time, go back to that note page and verify and add some things to it. End your commercial with an open-ended question that will stimulate further discussion. We've already talked about that, but I really want to emphasize how important that is. If you just said, hey, do you have any jobs? That's a yes or no question. That's probably where that commercial is going to stop. For interviews, once again, tailor that commercial. You may have to tailor it for each individual employer, or you may be interested in maybe 2, maybe even 3 different types of occupations. Absolutely fine. 2 or 3 is absolutely better than open. So, your commercial. I'm going to give you now at least a minute, maybe even 2 minutes, to take a look at the handout that's titled 30-second networking commercial. Use the template on that handout to start writing your commercial. In that handout, I've also given you 2 other examples. So hopefully, if you get stuck, if you go, I'm not quite sure what to do here, read the examples that I gave you in the handout. I'm hoping it will be helpful. So take a minute and start jotting your commercial down. All right, so you've started your networking list, you've worked on a career goal, you've started your commercial. The next thing I want you to do is go back and look at that network list. Now I'm going to give you some information on how to get started with actually contacting the people on that list. So star the people who you feel are crucial to your network. Once again, if you're looking for a job as an accountant, is there anyone on your network list that is an accountant or had been at one time an accountant? And so think about that. My goal for you at a minimum is to contact 1 person a day on that network list. Set up a time to meet with them or to call back. Most people are very busy. So if you call them and start talking to them, always ask, is this a good time to talk? Or should I call you back at a later time? Show sincere interest in your contact. You may not want to start talking right away about what you're looking for, or you may not want to start by giving your commercial. You may want to start talking about the weather or the sports of their kids. But you can say the real reason why I'm contacting you today is, and then read your commercial. Use that network spreadsheet to keep track of your contacts and their results. So on this spreadsheet, I want you to write the name of the person, their phone number, or maybe their email address, because remember, you can network with people via email as well. But I feel one of the most important pieces of this spreadsheet will be, what were their comments? Did they give you a referral? Did they say, call me back in a week and I'll see what I can do? Write down their comments and then follow up with what their comments were. Another interesting tip about networking that I have for you is remember your run-ins. And I don't literally mean run-ins. Remember every time you go to the grocery store, the gas station, your children's school, your church, the job center. All of those are people that when you run into them, it's an absolute perfect opportunity to start your commercial. Hey, do you know any jobs that are open in, or do you know of any employers that will benefit from my skills and benefit from my skills? And then you give them your commercial. To me, that's a really easy place to network, because how many times do you stand in line for 15 minutes, sometimes longer, and you can chat with the people in front of you or the people behind you. Today, social media is all around most of us. And so if you use Facebook, that is a perfect place to put your commercial out there. When I was on unemployment once again, I went to my Facebook one day and I posted my commercial. And I asked people to give me leads of openings that they knew of where I could benefit companies. I got amazing leads. I was so happy with the results of that networking opportunity. Another social media that may help you with your networking is LinkedIn. If you haven't used LinkedIn at all and you'd like to learn more about it, feel free to stop in at your job center. Someone there may be able to help you. So on my LinkedIn account, I put my resume, what I was interested in, and I could network with other people, not only in my field, but network with people who I felt may have information about job openings. Take advantage of social media when you are networking. I want to talk a little bit now, switching gears a little bit, when you are doing your face-to-face networking, because personally, I feel that's where you're going to be most successful. Those face-to-face contacts, not over the phone, not in the email, not on LinkedIn, but getting out and about and talking with people. The very first thing that I'm going to encourage you to do is when you walk up to someone, smile, extend your hand, give them a nice firm handshake, and say, "Hi, my name is Bonnie Burke," if you don't know them. If you do know them, of course your introduction is going to be different. But that firm handshake tells them that you are confident, that looking them in the eye tells them you're sincere. Now, if you notice the ladies on this slide, I should say lady, what does her body language tell you? So if I go up to someone and I say, "Do you know of any jobs? You know, because my last employer, I need to find a job. Do you know of anything?" Do you think I'm going to get some good leads? Chances are no. Or if I stood with my hands at my hips and tried to do my commercial, they might think I have a back injury. Or, I don't know. That posture could easily turn people off, just as well of the crossing of the arms. However, we do live in Wisconsin, and winter is coming. So most of the time, crossing arms for a lot of people, they're just trying to keep warm. But look at the face of this woman. She's not just trying to keep warm. There's an attitude going there. So be very, very careful with your body language, your tone of voice. Speak clearly and concisely. Don't ramble. Be positive and optimistic. And then when that person is talking with you, listen attentively. Listening is a skill in itself, and sometimes I feel in our busy world, it's almost a lost art. Do not interrupt the speaker. And most of the time, we are thinking about what we want to say when they're done talking, and in the meantime, we haven't heard a word that they've said. So I'm going to give you a few other tips about networking. So remember, shake their hand, look them in the eyes, smile, speak clearly, pay attention to your body language, and also remember to say thank you. Those please and thank you, I appreciate it very much, will go a long way in job searching. So, another networking tip that I'm going to share with you is how we dress. So if you are going out and about, remember those run-ins, or if you're out networking, I always encourage you to look your best. You don't have to dress fancy or even business casual, but the woman on the left, look at her blue jeans. She has a button-up blouse on. She looks wonderful, right? Look at the jeans with the holes. Very fashionable, probably paid a lot of money for those. However, if you were out networking for an administrative type job, almost any type of job, I would say leave the holes for Saturday night and put that blouse on. Take a look at these outfits. You know, the women with the blouses and the shirts, they look absolutely fine. But they're going to the mall, if they are going to their children's school, they're going to do some volunteer work, they look professional. The woman with the dress, she looks great. Yet if she's going to the beach, maybe, if I were going networking in the spring or summer in Wisconsin, I really think I'd put a sweater over that or wear a blouse. I'm not just talking about women, I want to show you some examples of guys. So as a man, if you go out networking, when you go to the store, when you go to the gas station, I'm going to encourage you to also dress professionally. Now, the man with the red tennis shoes on, those are absolutely fine. They look clean. But the holes in his jeans, I would lose it for while you were out job searching. His hat's on backwards, well, it's pretty popular also if you're working, but turn that hat around, find some jeans that don't have holes, and maybe put a shirt on. The other gentleman has a pretty long beard. In fact, I look at that and I think, my husband looks just like that. I've asked him to trim up his beard. I'm not telling you to shave, just trim it. I'm not telling you to get your hair cut, just have it neat and clean. In this case, he has nice shoes on, he's got nice jeans on, his jacket looks a little bit of raggedy, not too bad. Flip that hat around and he might be good to go. I'm showing you these two examples because I wanted to share with you how easy it is to look more professional. The guys in the jeans, button-up shirt, good to go. I'd go to the grocery store, gas station, I'd go to a movie, out to eat. He could network with all those opportunities with that outfit. The gentleman with the khakis, if he was going to be job hunting for a management type position, administrative type position, I then would put the dress pants on or the khakis. So a couple of different examples, but different occupations. So I have some final thoughts for you. Networking is a powerful tool in your job search toolbox. It's an ongoing process. It doesn't happen with attending one webinar, having the few handouts that you have today. It takes work and it takes time. Find ways to also reciprocate. I remember when I was out job searching and my job at Workforce Resource, when I saw it posted, I was like, oh my goodness, I want this job. Well, when I was job searching, I had actually worked with the Barron County Job Center. So I called them and I said, hey, I see a job opening with your agency. Could you please give me a good referral? Tell me about the job. Do you feel my skills would be beneficial for Workforce Resource? I'm not sure if that's what got me the job, but I'm sure it helped. I asked her for a referral, and I started my networking with that phone call to her. So if it's been successful for you, I really encourage you to think of your friends and family and how can you help them find a job. The other piece that I feel is so important, when you're out networking, if somebody gives you a referral, make sure you send them a thank you note. I'm not saying go down to the Hallmark and buy a $5 card. It can be as simple as a handwritten or a Word document thank you, or even an email, but the importance of telling them thank you. I want to end today's presentation with this quote, and I absolutely love it. It's from an organization called Feed My Starving Children. But to me, this really made me think of the importance in the ongoing process of networking to find our next job. Every day, do something that will inch you closer to a better tomorrow. Every day. So, one last challenge. What one thing did you learn from today's webinar that's going to help you obtain employment? I hope you learn more than one thing, yet if one thing is sticking out in your mind, I encourage you to write it down. If you're working with a case manager through Workforce Resource, I really encourage you to give them a call. Tell them about your commercial, bring in your commercial and your networking spreadsheet, sit down with them. They will help you with that spreadsheet. They're going to help you refine your commercial. And hey, I encourage you to practice your commercial with your case manager. Great resources as well.
We hope you've enjoyed this presentation on networking. Workforce Resource can help you create your 30-second commercial, and along with many other re-employment services. Our goal is to assist you in finding employment into a position that is in high demand and also rewarding. To enroll in our program, please contact us at your local job center or complete our online application. On our website, on the homepage, just click on Job Seekers Application. Workforce Resources services include many different things. We can help you with resume development and also with career planning. We have assessments that can help one-on-one career counseling. We can even provide some short-term training. Funding may be available to help you not only update your skills, but even to acquire new skills. We offer numerous job-seeking webinars, on-the-job training, and several other support services. Thank you so much for attending this presentation, and have a great day.